Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we are live from the HCCTV studios this morning, Tuesday, May the 6th, for those keeping score. Yesterday, big day, huh? Cinco de Mayo. Did you get to go out and do anything?
Yeah, Independence Day for Puebla in
Yeah,
Mexico.
yeah. Did you do anything for celebration?
No,
No?
no.
Usually do. Usually go all
You know,
out.
I usually do, but I don't. It's fell on a Monday. It was weird.
I know it was weird. There were a lot of celebrations last weekend, though. A lot of people
Yeah.
went out and did stuff last weekend. We are glad to have you with us this morning. We're live at the HCC TV studios. And as I mentioned, we've got some great guests coming your way. It's Tasty Tuesday as well.
Yes.
So Benji
Very
always gets
tasty.
his restaurant tips from the
Yeah.
show.
I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually do.
we got a good one coming up. But we want to thank everyone watching us on Facebook and YouTube. We're live on Mondays through Fridays in most cases when HCC is in session. I don't think we're going to be here Friday because we've got a graduation ceremony.
We have
the
two graduations coming.
Well, one's coming up Thursday night, so we'll be here Thursday.
Yeah.
Friday, it's an all-day event,
Yep.
The vast graduation. So we're going to be doing that. So we'll talk more about that later in the show. But we want to thank you for watching us on Facebook and YouTube here Mondays through Fridays, live at 10 a.m. But Benji, they can also catch us in social media anytime and on our cable channel.
Yes, we are live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, but Houston Community College District. We're also on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV, our own TV channel, where you can catch a rebroadcast of this show at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay, let's get started introducing a guest I'll be talking with very shortly. Suu Khin is the chef and founder of Burmalicious, and she is our Tasty Tuesday guest. Good to see you, Chef. Thanks for being here on the show.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, good to have you with us. I know what you're going to be doing a demo for us in a few minutes, but real quickly, tell us what you're going to be preparing.
So I'm Burmese and I specialize in Burmese cooking. So I'm making a very, very unique Burmese dish called Teely salad.
Okay, we're looking forward to that. The restaurant is called Burmalicious. We'll hear more from the chef in a few moments. But right now, Benji, you're going to introduce us to another guest from HCC's Northeast College.
Yes, we have Porsha Stubbs Pinder. She is the Senior Manager of Business Development for HCC's Resiliency Initiative. Welcome to the show, Porsha.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. And we're going to be talking about some exciting stuff. I really like your website headline. It's empowering Houston to be crisis ready. I mean, and it also says that you're offering free courses to strengthen the community disaster resilience and crisis management skills during emergencies. So tell us all about that program.
Yes, thank you again for having us on this program today. We're the Northeast College, and in the system, we're the best college that we have.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the bragging rights for us today. But I want to talk to you about the ACC Resilience Initiative. About 3 years ago, we received a federal grant from the Department of Education. And really and truly, our purpose is to make Houston more resilient by empowering individuals with knowledge and skills to face any disaster. As we know, Houston is very much disaster prone, and we have seen, based on the events that have happened over the last couple of years, snowstorms in 2021. So we are that initiative that is ready, willing, and able to train professionals all over Houston, or the community all over Houston, to remain resilient and to be prepared for any disaster.
And so what do these free courses delve into? I mean, I know you kind of talked about there for resiliency and being ready for crisis and stuff, but what do these really delve into, and how many classes is it?
Okay. So let's talk about that. Let's break them down for you. Yeah. There are currently 5 upskilling courses and 2 community-based training courses. They're all free and accessible. And, when you tell people they're free, they're like, really? Is that yet? The value in terms of monetary value and what they cost is anywhere from $400 to about $800 per course. However, because of the grant that we were awarded, those courses are absolutely free to all. What we have done already is we have already trained 650 Houstonians in the community-based training courses, and we have already trained about 10 persons in their 5 upskilling. And I want to tell you a little bit about those courses today.
Yeah.
The upskilling courses that I'm going to talk about are courses such as Introduction to Project Management for crisis-ready professionals. And this course talks about mastering project management techniques essential for effective crisis response. So we're talking first responders and their supervisors. Then we have the Resilient Information Technology Project Management. We're going to teach you there how to implement resilient IT systems and protect critical infrastructure. And we know that any rain, too much rain around the Houston area, what happens to our IT systems, or what happens to our infrastructure that house advanced technology? You know, there's always something, you know, some down somewhere. So we're ready to help you with that and to help you navigate that process. We also have the Maximize Resilience with Business Continuity Planning. Those are for persons who own small businesses. And, you know, sometimes when you own small businesses, your capital may not be able to entertain protections such as small business insurance. So we want to help you, teach you how to access those resources through programs like the SBA, the SBA, and any other entities out there that will be able to help small businesses prepare for disasters whenever they show up. Also, we have the Team Building and Communication, your crisis-proof toolkit. This is to help you and your team better be able to communicate to thrive under pressure, and on the ultimate guide to safety and compliance in disaster recovery. Now, what I want to also add to this is that 3 of these courses, which the Introduction to Project Management, the Resilient Information Technology, and the Team Building Communications, your crisis proof toolkit, these courses, at the end of them, the individuals are able to sit for the Certified Associate Project Management certification at the end of these courses, and we also cover the expense for that. And through the ultimate guide to safety and compliance in disaster recovery, we also pay for the participants to obtain their OSHA certification.
Awesome. That's great.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this. So I know we hear free, and like you said, you got a grant there, but is there any requirements for folks to get into these classes for free? I mean, living in Houston city limits or anything like that?
All they have to do is apply.
Really? Awesome.
All they have to do is apply. The focus was really on the Metroplex. However, as long as you live in Houston, all you have to do is apply. If you're an ACC student, if you are working one of the municipalities and you think that this training will benefit your team, all we ask is that you apply, have your team apply. Contact us at 713-718-8175, or they can email me at porsha.stubbs@hccs.edu.
There you go, folks. And also, I wanted to ask you about your community engagement and outreach things that y'all are doing out there.
Well, the community engagement and outreach portion of these courses is where we've had our most success, because what we've done is we've partnered with the multi-creational centers that we have in the communities like Kashmir, etc. And we've also partnered with churches because we feel that once we are able to go in at the grassroots level and that we're able to make a greater impact and also an entry into the homes and the minds of these individuals, that, hey, if you're not certain what it is that you really want to do in terms of tertiary level education, why not try one of these courses and see how you progress as an individual? And then that is a way for us to get you in the door here at HCC.
Perfect. And then go ahead.
And so with that, we've done already 650 Houstonians through these centers with our senior citizens and with our churches. And our goal is 1,500 of those persons.
Yeah.
So we're steadily working towards that. Our classes are open enrollment, and for the community-based courses, we go to you.
Yeah.
So if you have 5 to 10 persons and you said, well, Ms. Porsha, I'd like to host it at our family gathering, we'll come to you.
Awesome.
To teach you how to adequately prepare yourself for the future.
Well, that is great. Thank you so much, Porsha Stubbs Pinder. She is the Senior Manager of Business Development for HCC's Resiliency Initiative. And we'll have all of your info on our post after the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. All right. After a quick commercial break, Todd will be back to talk to our Tasty Tuesday guest.
I'm not just studying AI, I'm designing solutions to make the world a better place for us all.
I didn't just study buildings, I connected them with tech to make them smarter.
And if I can't make it in person, I take my classes online.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it's Tasty Tuesday. We welcome our guest, Chef Suu Khin, founder of Burmalicious. Sue, welcome to the show, Chef. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we were talking to the folks at the Asia Society of Texas as part of AAPI Month, asking them for some recommendations. You came very highly recommended, and they told us you are a 2025 James Beard semifinalist for Emerging Chef. And we also understand you were on Master Chef, finishing as a runner-up as well.
Yes, I am.
Some great accomplishments. Tell us a bit about your background.
Well, I call myself a grandmother trained chef. I started as a home cook. I call myself a grandmother trained chef because it's how much influence I have her in my life and my career. And I specialize in cooking, demystifying, and promoting Burmese cuisine here in Houston. The reason that I do is because Burmese cuisine is very, very underrepresented. I wouldn't say just in Houston, but throughout the world. People have not many people have tasted Burmese food, let alone have heard of where our country is, or even like there is a country called Burma. And to confuse people even more so, we have two names. We're also known as Myanmar. So for people who is not aware of our country, a little history lesson, right? So we are a country in Southeast Asia. We are sandwiched right between India, China, and Thailand. So our cuisine, our cultures are heavily influenced by these countries. And under Burmalicious, we do private catering. So we do social caterings, corporate caterings, weddings. I myself do private chefing and lots of markets, farmers markets, festivals. And one thing we mainly specialize is hosting these pop-up dinners. So we do tasting menu dinners. We also do these a la carte menu dinners. So we're working on our brick and mortar, and I'm also personally working on a cookbook. So, whatever the endeavor may be, the purpose of Burmalicious is to make Burmese food a little less mysterious and a little bit more loved.
Because I must admit, I've had all types of food, and Houston really has so many different restaurants, but I can't think of one that specifically serves Burmese food, nor have I visited one, but I'm sure I'd love to do that. You've got a dish you're preparing for us right now. Why don't you get started on that, and you can kind of show us how you can demystify Burmese food.
Yes. So Todd, today I'm doing this from the comfort of my own home. So it's a very custom in Burmese home. Whenever there is a guest, it is to welcome the guest by serving them hot green tea. I wish you were personally here so that I can personally serve you this hot green tea. But cheers to you, Todd. Cheers to
I'm
Asian Heritage
definitely a
Month.
fan of hot green tea. So
There we go. Yeah. So hot green tea, it is magical. My mom, my grandmother, my mother-in-law, they all think they have magical powers. They're like headache, hot green tea. You have a toothache, hot green tea. You
yeah.
have a heartache, hot green tea. It solves all their problems. So I hope we get to talk a little bit about, the importance of symbolism behind tea. But today, what I'm making is a Burmese dish called tea leaf salad. So in my not, I'm a very limited knowledge of the world. We are the only culture that consume tea as a form of food. So, a lot of cultures drink
Yeah.
tea as a beverage, but I don't think there is many other cuisines or cultures that actually eat tea.
Well,
So what we have,
I've had tea and ice cream before, but not
yeah,
as a food as you're talking about.
right. Usually, the tea is steeped through. You don't
Yeah.
eat tea as it's its own leaf, right? So what I have here is fermented tea leaves. So, a little inside of our Burmese cuisine. We rely so much on fermentation, preservation, and pickling processes as our main cooking technique. The reason being that it's a very hot tropical country,
Yeah.
and it's still a developing country, so refrigeration is very limited. So preservation, fermentation definitely prolong the life of many ingredients, and tea leaf is one of them. So what we do is we pick, we plug these young tea leaves, we steam them and we ferment them in bamboo silos for up to 3 months. And after that, we take them out of these bamboo silos, we wash them thoroughly, and then we marinate them with peanut oil, garlic, fish sauce, lime juice, all these, very traditional Southeast Asian ingredients. So the purpose of fermentation is again to prolong the life of the tea leaves, and also it's their tea leaves, you're eating them as is, so they are predominantly bitter. So when you ferment them, the flavors get more well-rounded, it becomes more earthy, umami, there's a slight note of tang, but that bitterness, it's definitely to tame the bitterness of the tea leaves. So what we usually do is we add the tea leaves to the plate or a bowl that you are having. And again, we are adding, it's umami, earthy. So we're always like Thai food, it's all about balance of
Mhm.
these complex flavors. So we're counteracting this savory notes with these fresh cabbage. We're also adding like fresh tomatoes. And Burmese food, I think it's all about textures. Textures are never an afterthought. So we're adding these nuts, like all sorts of nuts. So we have peanuts, sesame seeds, garlic chips, broad beans, pumpkin seeds, all of them. And we're also adding that to that. And we're also adding another protein, which is again preserved food, which is dry shrimps. And we're all adding up to that. And the dressing will be just a little bit of oil and fish sauce.
Now, the dried shrimp, do you hydrate them at all, or just you? I've had dried shrimp in other dishes, but do you hydrate
Yes.
them before you put in there?
So usually, traditionally, there are two ways to dry the fish or the shrimp. So the dry shrimp I'm using today, it is sun dried. So it can be smoke dry or it can be sun dried.
Okay.
So yeah, in Houston, yeah, there's plenty of sun. So I think that's the best way to preserve shrimps. And it changes the flavor. It changes the flavor. The entirely, it becomes a lot more sweeter, a lot more umami. So we're just pretty much like tossing everything up. And so, tea again has a lot of symbolism behind it. So, tea leaves salads, you're supposed to eat this out of the same plate, whoever you're sharing this tea leaf salad with. So, back in the days, at the end of wars and of disputes, people like to come to peace by sharing from the same plate of food. So it's pretty
Right.
much like, hey, here's a plate of tea leaf salad. Let's come to peace. Let's leave everything behind. And if you are going to, if you're asking for a woman's hand for marriage, one of the gifts that the groom and his family has to bring to the bride's house is always the tea leaves, these fermented tea leaves. It pretty much signifies that, hey, we have come in peace. We really want to
Yeah.
prolong these good relationships with you. So it is our cultural identity. It is pretty much, it's very culturally significant in our
I
cuisine.
mean, it seems if you can get the fermented tea leaves, it seems like a very simple salad.
It is.
And I imagine the flavoring of the tea leaves that serves as a dressing, I guess, as
Exactly.
Americans
Exactly.
would put on it.
Completely right. Sorry. It is one of the dishes that are so hard to sell because, people have never ever heard of tea leaf salad. But once people try it, like they absolutely love it. I consider this a bowl of superfood because, tea leaves it's fermented. It's good for your gut, right? There's plethora of nuts and beans and peas in them. So there's a lot of proteins, a lot of nutrients. Also,
Yeah.
there's freshness of cabbage, tomatoes. So I have never ever met someone who it's so hard to sell, but once people have a taste of it, everybody falls in love with it.
I'd be all in for that tea salad. And I imagine if people are vegan, they can simply leave out the shrimp and you've got the perfect meal there as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So let me ask you,
right.
it sounds like you're very active in all the food markets and stuff like that. Where can people find out where you're going to be and sample your food? Do you have a website, social media? What's the best way to do it?
Yes, I usually post all my updates, all my upcoming works on my Instagram, which is Burmalicious by Sue. I have one coming up this Friday. I'll be popping up at June. I'll be serving lunch. And I'll also be, I have a collaboration dinner coming up with Blood Rose Barbecue. So we're going to do an AAPI special dinner, and that all the benefits will also go towards Asia Society Texas work.
That sounds great. We're going to have all of your social media information where people could find you in our post after the show. And we'd love to have you on when you get your brick and mortar launched once again.
Thank you very much, Todd. Thank you for having me today.
Thanks, Chef. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you soon. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up with some things happening across the district. We'll return in 60 seconds.
I'm learning healthcare management while providing patient care.
I came back to grow my skills, even after I graduated. And if I can't make it in person, I take my classes online.
That one day at PE when they were like yelling at me and then you just linked arms with me, I don't think you know how much like that helped me. I finally like knew that I had somebody.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute on this Tuesday. We've got some events happening across the district. One of them happening tomorrow, something you might be excited about, a free diaper giveaway. HCC has invited Molina Healthcare's Moms Club to give away free diapers, and they're offering parenting resources to HCC students. The final offering is 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. tomorrow, May 7th, at HCC Spring Branch campus. Check our post after the show for more information. And there's also another Moms event coming up at the Southeast College.
Yes, it's called Muffins for Mom at the Southeast campus. The Office of Student Life and HCC Counseling will present Muffins for Mom, a workshop with counseling, coffee, and carnations in addition to the muffins. This will take place Thursday, May 8th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Eastside Student Life Lobby. So check out our post after the show for more info.
There's a TSI boot camp on the way. High school students, adult learners, or someone returning to education can attend our next round of TSI boot camps. This free interactive sessions are designed to help students excel on the Texas Success Initiative, better known as TSI, assessment. It's ensuring they're ready to succeed in college. The next one, May 17th, 8 a.m. to noon. It's a Saturday at HCC's South Campus. We'll have more information in our post. And I guess we need to talk real quickly about the vast graduation coming up Friday.
Yes, because HCC will be working at the vest commencement celebration later this week. Up to the Minute will not air, but we'll be broadcasting a best of episodes on HCCTV at its regular scheduled time of noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. So again, no Up to the Minute on Friday, May 9th, but we'll return on Monday, May the 12th.
There is still time to register for the summer. Make sure you know those in-session classes they do fill up quite quickly. They will open more of them, but you need to register first. So make sure you register for summer classes. Go to hccs.edu/apply. Of course, all the ways of learning. We've got 2 of them that are completely online, 2 that are hybrid, and of course, in-person classes as well. Go to hccs.edu/apply. Tomorrow, we're going to be speaking with someone from HCC's Korean program regarding Asian American Pacific Islander Month. And it's Good Works Wednesday will feature an organization that helps women with programs related to finances, saying that women are 20% more likely to live in poverty than men. All that and more tomorrow on the show. Are you on anymore this week or no?
Not that I know.
Not that you know of. Things could change. They change.
I will be on a Monday. It's coming up this month. So
a Monday that's coming up this month. Put that on your calendar.
Yeah, folks.
Yeah, it's on his, obviously. All right. Thanks for being here. We will see y'all tomorrow on Up to the Minute.